Good morning and welcome. It's Monday, the 9th of May. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, coming up today, we've got half stake day. And if there was any a day where you looked at the selections and went, they are Flat Cap Callum type of selections as opposed to anybody else you'll find, today is the day. So I've gone for less obvious selections in less obvious races predominantly. So it's half stake, two lucky 15s, but there are horse crossover. So it's only actually 5 races and 6 horses coming up today. So we've got those. I'll do the review of yesterday first. We'll have a word on the golf and then I'll do a bit of stats rundown from last week. But overall, profit and loss wasn't good last week. So it was our third worst week on the channel for profit and loss. So it looked promising at points, and then Saturday we took a hit and didn't get it back yesterday. So where did we go yesterday? So we had bits and bobs back. It was frustrating, and that was a bit of the story really from last week. Generally, so all in the mind, place ran a cracker. Really, it wasn't far out of winning that race. And then these two were really disappointing. They both pulled up. So something went a little bit awry, particularly as that was backed into 9-2. It was 14-1 the night before. And then Dubai Journal went an absolute cracker. I really liked that horse. I just wish the price was a bit higher. I mean, SP'd at 8. So if you did take SP, you'd have done better than what I got on the channel for 13-2. So we got bits back there. And then in bet 2, the Hamilton bet started off well. We had a nice place there. Golden Melody jumped the gun. If you watch that race, it snatched up basically. It stumbled and that lost it. If it wasn't for that horse would have been in the frame. Fine Wine was second, and then Uncharted was really disappointing. As was Where's Jeff. So we ended up with 2 places. So for yesterday, I made that. It was 15 on and 593 back. So I'll do the proper rundown of the stats, but overall, kind of once I've done today's selections, but overall it was a loss week. So 593, so a loss of about £9.07, I think it was yesterday. So really disappointing. It's definitely been a bit yo-yo-y, to be fair. The last few weeks, it sort of either feels like a good week or a bad week, and not much in between. So kind of be nice this week to have an average week. I'm sure most of you be like, no, let's have another good week, but just to calm it down a little bit, and the fluctuations. But it is what happens when you bet with the prices. Some days you can look like a genius, and some days you can look like an absolute crackpot, and like not what you're talking about. So today is one of those days where definitely I'm a crackpot, I would say to you. So I've got, as I said, 5 races, 6 horses. Most of them unconventional in most ways. So the most likely outcome from our £10 wager today is we get nothing back. That is what the bookmakers would suggest to you, given the odds of the horses. But basically, I've gone panning for gold, and when you go panning for gold, sometimes what looks like something shiny turns out not to be. So we will see what I've got. But if you like the prices, what we got today. So we're starting off at 2 o'clock at Catterick, an unraced 2-year-old. I like some of these. Ioto's Angel. I like that horse a lot, but I do not like the fact there is 7 runners in the race. On the channel, you know how it works. These are pretty much 50-50 hit and miss. So sometimes they run really, really well and they make the frame, and sometimes they run incredibly green. The last one we had reared in the stalls and reared on leaving the stalls and was nowhere. Breeding wise, I really like that horse. It's related to a half. It's got a half sibling that won first time out to a decent standard. So I think it's got a lot of potential. 7 run is not ideal. Quite good for the quarter of the odds, but that is what it is. So we've got Arietes Angel just in bet 1 at 25-1. And then we've got Jenny Wren. So this is one of only 2 handicap races, and there's no extra places here. So this is paying 2 places. This is only paying 3. No extra places here. So I haven't, other than one race at Roscommon, I haven't got races with extra places today. So Jenny Wren, 5-10 Wolverhampton. It's in both bets, 10-1. Just think of all of the sort of the average handicaps, that's the most solid horse at a decent enough price. So I've put that in both bets. We've then got 4:30 Catterick. This is in both bets too. So it's the other horse in both bets. A Fond Kiss, 14-1 Catterick. I think the market's overlooked that. It's been nibbled in this morning. I think it could have got about 18s and 20s last night in places. Nibbled in. I think 14 is still a good price. And then the 5:30 Roscommon. Basically, I've gone two, and I've gone for two 33-1 shots that I think are both overpriced. So in this bet, we've got Mean from Hare. So it's a 15p each way lucky 15 and a 25p each way single. As I said, you are not going to find very many, if any, people tipping up horses these days that are going to go anywhere near these. So this is what I'm into, and you could look like a hero or it could be completely zero. You never know. But I think all of these have got decent value in their prices. And then we're going to roll on bet two. So bet two, we've got Jenny Wren again, A Fond Kiss again, and then in this 5:30, the second selection, they're pretty even, to be fair though. Pretty Rebel, 33-1, so two 33-1 shots in that Roscommon race. And then the additional different one here is the 7:40 Windsor, Awesome Dancer, 33-1. There's a couple too many horses in that race, but I just think from a pricing point of view, the market's not got that right. I think that will run a lot better than 33-1. Most of those horses are unexposed, but I think it should outrun 33-1. Whether it will get the frame, let's see. So in essence, I've got one very average handicap, no extra plays at Wolverhampton today, a decent handicap at Roscommon where I've got two, and then I've got three novice maiden double figure prices. That is what I've got for you today. So that's what I'm into. Like I'm not going to say I'm getting super excited about that bet, because every single one of those is risky. And you know, likely it is none of them get placed, or we might get one if we're lucky, or two. What we want is three to at least make the frame to make a profit there. So we shall see. It's entirely up to you. It's a free channel. I'm offering free selections. Everything I do on here is free. It's entirely up to you whether you follow and watch with amusement, whether you watch and decide you want to wager some money on the same selections. Entirely up to you. Completely optional, this channel. So I appreciate we had a lost week last week. And if you're only watching a week, you'd think, well, that's not very good. The week before, we made twice as much as what we lost last week. It's the way it goes sometimes. So that is that. And then the golf. Again, I mean, how many times I feel like I come on every Monday morning and go, it just sort of fizzled out a little bit. So we ended up the same place as last week, where the lucky 15, we had one winner, Justin Walters, top South African, at 14-1. Same last week, top Frenchman, we had 14-1, and nothing with it. So really frustrating, because that individual bet made a very small profit, but we lost the rest of it. So yeah, the singles went down and the top 20s went down. So this week I'm going to start doing golf research today, but my focus will be on the lucky 15 bets. And then if there's anything else to go with it, like side little extras, I'll do that. But I'm aiming to probably keep the stake lower unless I suddenly find lots of things this week. And I'll be looking at all three tournaments again, because the week after is USPGA, so just one tournament week. So I'll be looking at all three tournaments this weekend, and seeing what we can get on that. And then stats rundown. See if I can read this right in. So we ended the last week. So for horses, we ended 135 on, 95.72 back, a loss of 39.28, which is a 29% loss overall. But for the channel, horses are running at 20% profit. So despite the 29% loss last week, 20% profit on horses. Golf, we were 15 on, 670 back, minus 830, that's minus 55%. And for the channel, we are minus £52, which is minus 30%. So the golf is really just frustrating me no end at the moment, in terms of channel selections. So we will get there. It just takes time sometimes. And then overall for the week was 150 on, so combined sport 150 on, 102 42 back, loss of 47.58. That's a 31% loss. Overall for the channel, total all sports, we are still running 16% profit. And for May, I'm running overall £41 loss currently for May. So we're £41 behind, and we are 8 days into May. So all to play for, really. That is where we are at for stats. I think that's all I've got today. So yeah, you can decide to take a spin on those horses or not. It's entirely up to you. But what I would say, particularly on the days when it isn't going so well, I do really, really appreciate the likes. The fact that people are subscribing to the video is just brilliant. And yeah, and I appreciate it. And there's always going to be a couple of people that don't like it, and I get that. But the vast majority of you that express an opinion via a dislike and like button do seem to appreciate it. So I will crack on with what I'm doing. And, you know, overall, the channel statistics are good. But last week, not good. That's the ultimate headline. You have a good day. I will see you in the morning. It's I was going to say outlook for this week. There's bits and bobs this week. The York meeting, the Dante meeting starts on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. So we'll see how we go there. But yeah, I think it's sort of probably going to be an averagey type of week. I think from the race, and there's some decent quality races at points, but we'll see what opportunities that actually presents in terms of value. Okay, I'm stopping it there. You enjoy your day. I'll enjoy mine. See you in the morning. Thank you very much.